Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Andy Danauta, and you're welcome to Time Out with Charlie and Andy. As always, I'm here with this wonderful woman here, my wife.
Yeah, I'm Charlie Danauta. You're welcome.
You are very much welcome. We want to begin this episode by really appreciating everybody that has subscribed. You know, you have been following, you've been subscribing. Every day we have numbers being added to that WhatsApp group and people from all over the places. Thank you for sending in your questions. Thank you for sending in your testimonies. We are very, very, very grateful. Please keep them coming. And if you're watching this and you've not subscribed yet, please, we ask of you that you subscribe this and make sure you keep sharing these videos. The testimonies are so touching. I mean, Charlie, maybe one day we'll just take an entire episode to read about the testimonies we're hearing from people and all of that. Now, guys, today's episode is very serious. Something very, 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 very serious happening in Africa and the globe at large. We're talking about the whole genotype issue. I know somebody's adjusting his seat right now, Charlie. You know, how do you handle the genotype when you discover that you guys have a genotype that's not compatible? How do you deal with that in relationships and all of that? So this is what we want to talk about today. A lot of you have been following, and I'm sure Charlie a lot want to know what to do in such a case. But before we begin, before I hand over to Charlie to say something, I want to say, please check the statistics. All right, our heart goes to every every person out there watching this with with sickle cell disorder. We pray for you. We expect the best for you. We say you deserve to be happy in whatever relationship that you are in. This particular episode is for everybody. The numbers and the statistics are very high. If you check the number of children born with the sickle cell disorder in this country is alarming. In Nigeria, it's alarming. In Africa, it's alarming. I mean, developed countries are beginning to curb these things and handling it and all of those things like that, and then it's reducing. But Africa, you know, we are just coming up to that. And in fact, Charlie, quite a number of churches are insisting, you know, that they won't join couples that are not compatible in their genotype. Yes, they will not. So please, we want to give our own contribution. We want to give our own perspective on this particular matter. Yes, Charlie, can you please say something about this? We've had quite a number of young girls say, I am in love with him. I'm not going to leave him for some silly genotype thing. I'm not going to leave her for some silly genotype story and all of that. And we've had the people of faith. We've had people say, I know that I have faith and all of that. And so where do we begin from this? From the beginning of the relationship, Charlie, what do you think should be the approach, knowing that the numbers out there are very high?
Crazy. Okay. So questions arising, just like he said. And there are lots of judgments about the church and other organizations or NGOs requesting or demanding for testing before couples can be joined together. And there are a lot of emphasis too that is going out that before you date, even while you're in a relationship, you should make sure you check that status too. Yes, so that early enough you can just decide what you want. Now, for the question you asked, you love the guy and everything, and for some of us, we are on the side of faith. It's okay, I have faith and I'm going to continue with this person. For some, I don't have faith. As a result of this, we've had a lot of broken relationships and marriage, I must tell you. It has increased the number of heartbreaks and also the number of divorce. Because to some who claim that they have faith, they didn't really count the cost. Just saying that you have faith is not enough. Just saying it is not enough. Faith is exercised, and it is only exercised in the situation. So you might not really be able to tell until you sit down and count the cost. Do you really understand the circumstances surrounding this? That's another question. If you have done all your findings and you found out all that you need to find out and you still believe that you could carry on, then it's a different thing. You love this person. It's all about making a choice. So that when you make the decision, you take responsibility for that decision. So we'll have lesser heartbreaks and lesser numbers of divorces and everything. So all what we are saying here today is, do not just jump into it and keep preaching about faith, and judging those who decided to withdraw. They can't carry it. Some people cannot contain it. They will break down. This is the reason why churches began and other organizations began to insist on the testing. It's not necessarily just for them. It's because they've handled a lot of cases in counseling where they had to save some marriages or relationship at the verge of divorce or breakups. So this is why we are also saying that it is possible. We're not saying it's not possible. It's possible to have such a home. Of course, we believe in God and we believe in His healing power. And we believe that by faith, there's nothing that is impossible for Him. But then you have to have that faith to keep you when you are faced with such situations. So we're saying rethink again. Sit down again and ask yourself. It's not enough to say, I love him. Love has to be acted on. And when it comes face to face before you, would you still stay?
Thank you very much, Charlie, for that. Now, we are looking at it from two different dimensions. There are some adults that were able to survive this, you know, and all of that. Now, we're talking about this from the AS, two couples having, you know, a couple, the male and the female, both AS. Now, the decisions they're about to make, Charlie, I know, I'm just seeing it from this angle. The decisions they're about to make, have you noticed that it won't affect them?
No,
it won't affect them. AS, you guys are going to be having a wonderful life. So what happens to that? So we're saying the decisions you have to make, you know, remember that it's not going to affect you, but it's going to affect the kids that you're going to give birth to. And so that's what we are talking about. Sometimes it's just easy to be in the flames of love and everything like that. You have butterflies in your stomach and you feel that you need to prove to that person. This is the point I want to make, Charlie. Please don't ever have a need in your life to do anything such as this extraordinary just to prove a point to somebody that you love them. You don't have to. It's just like, you know, abandoning school to prove to somebody that you love them and all of that. There are many other ways to show your love. So we're saying, please, as you are counting the cost, as Charlie said, remember that you are not even making a decision for both of you. Your love can last and all of those things. You give birth to 2 children, you know, 2 kids, 3, or even 1, and that child comes out with, you know, sickle cell disorder and all of those things like that. So what do you really do? It's not just about saying, I have the money to take care of them, I have all of that. There is constantly emotional, you know, stress that comes with that. I am a parent. I have, you know, we have 2 kids. We have 2 wonderful children, and I could, you know, I can just only imagine what we will be going through emotionally, the stress, you know, my wife and I will be going through emotionally. The love is there and everything, but I'm telling you, if you have a baby, you don't want even a mosquito, I mean, just mosquito bite on that skin. You don't want that. And so imagine that your child is going through trauma upon trauma upon trauma upon trauma. Today you are in the hospital, tomorrow you're going out of the hospital. What if you have a choice to change all of that? What if you can go back in time to change all of that? Will you change that? So we're saying basically, guys, that the decision we're making in terms of couples that, you know, both are not compatible, that, you know, genotype, you are not really deciding for yourself. So it will be very foolish and very selfish to just conclude and all of that. Now, can I say something about this faith thing, Charlie?
Please do.
Please, I am 100% a man of faith. We are people of faith. We have seen God change SS to AA. I mean, expressly. We've gone to several hospitals and the test was conducted. People knew this person before and all of that, but the results were changed by the power of God. Now we're saying this, please, if you believe so much in God like that, if you have that faith, please, we're saying that do this not because of marriage. Begin that journey now. If you are AS, you're single, you're not with anybody, please, we're saying that you can sit down now, begin to trust God for your life. Don't wait for somebody to come and inspire you to pray to God. If you want that to change, you want to be compatible to anybody that comes in, you can begin that journey now. And I believe honestly that God can heal, God can change that thing and all of that. But please don't do this in the just name of marriage. Do this because you believe that God can change your situation. So please, guys, we're saying this very simple. If you're a man of faith, let it change now. We don't have to get married for God
Before
to
it-
change
yeah.
that. No. If God can change it now, we know that He can do anything, any day, anytime. He can do it for. He has done it for other people. He can do it for us. Yes, Charlie. Anything to say before we hit this?
So we're
Wrap it up.
saying, please count the cost.
Count the cost. That's
Love
what we're
is
saying.
good.
Please,
Yes,
guys,
count the cost. Love is good, but think about other people that will be involved, just like the kids. When they are in pain and you have to be with them in the hospital, they are the ones who will be in pain, not you,
Yes.
not your partner. So let us think about those people involved. Let's think about the number of children that we keep losing every year
Yes.
as a result of this, and
Hundreds of
begin to
thousands of
make
children
and begin to make the right decisions. Like he said, if you have faith that God will change it, let Him change it now,
Yes.
not in the situation.
All right, guys, thank you so much. That's our
Thank
little
you.
contribution. Our heart and our prayer goes to every child out there with sickle cell disorder.
Yeah.
I mean, our prayer are with you for those of you that have fought this thing to a very, some of you are adults. In fact, some are actually married, Charlie.
Married,
I know
yes.
some couple of people that are married with that. Our heart and our prayer goes out to you.
to you.
Please, our message for you on this episode is count the cost, and you are not just deciding for yourself, you're deciding for a generation. Until we see you again next time,
Yeah.
we love you so much from
Love
Time Out
you.
to Charlie and Andy.
And for me, bye-bye.
We'll say bye-bye.
Yeah.